2015 has been a really amazing year for music, and I wanted to talk with some of my fellow Noisey editors, Kyle Kramer and Kim Kelly, about our favorite breakout artists of the year. I mean, what have been some of the exciting artists for you guys?
I think some of the big standout artists for me, definitely Kehlani, who had an amazing album.
Maybe I didn't deserve you. Maybe I just couldn't cure you.
She's this R&B singer from Oakland, 20 years old, just nominated for a Grammy. She's signed to Atlantic, but they kind of just let her do everything herself, you know? Which I think is actually a model that we're going to be seeing a lot more of in the next few years, where it is these young artists who are better at using the internet than any record label, who have this direct connection with their fans.
Maybe I didn't deserve you.
So Kim, your strength on the site is just all metal. So who have you been excited about in 2015?
One of my favorites, one I wanted to talk about now, is Cloud Rat. They're a grindcore band, but they have all these other elements that make them really stand out. Like, there's a lot more atmospheric. Some parts are like almost power violence, and some parts are like these beautiful, fragile melodies. And it's just a really great dynamic. It's the kind of band that makes the personal political.
Do you feel like in 2015 metal is being more assimilated into the mainstream in terms of fashion and also just in terms of like at shows? Is that something you've noticed?
I used to be like the only writer that would cover that stuff on bigger sites. Now it's like normal. It's like we're a little more respectable. It's such a valid global genre, and I think it's really important to, you know, give it some shine.
You said we should look out further. I guess it wouldn't hurt us.
Courtney Barnett has been around for a few years also, but this was the year that she released her debut album. She's from Sydney. What is it about her that you love so much?
Big year for her. I mean, she just got nominated for Best New Artist Grammy, which, like, hopefully she wins, because she's up against like Meghan Trainor and
I think she'll be okay.
yeah, a lot of garbage.
Even I know.
She is an awesome songwriter. Her songs just have this sort of day-to-day quality about them that's really engaging, and she thinks through what the different characters in the songs are thinking, and there's sort of this existential dread to it.
The other thing that I like about her is that she actually sings in an Australian accent, which like never happens.
Or a lot of room for storage if you've just got one. And it's going pretty cheap, you say. Well, it's a deceased to stay.
We have a very strong arm of Noisey in the UK, and grime has seen a massive explosion over there again this year. Skepta has had a huge year in terms of his international impact. Why is it that this year Skepta has become huge, do you think, Kyle?
Grime is something that I think a lot of American audiences are beginning to relate to a little bit more. There was Drake kind of
It was a love
adopting
affair.
it was a weird, like,
You could chart Skepta and Drake's like weird like internet flirtation through Instagram and Twitter, and then, you know, like them dropping references to each other on various songs.
But yeah, I think it has been an interesting crossover year for a lot of UK artists, and particularly in the grime world, it relates kind of to the same American rebellious thing that hip hop has always had here, and I think that's another reason why you're seeing so much interest on both sides of the ocean. If you look at another one of the year's like really big breakout artists in the US, Future, a lot of people say they can't understand what Future is saying.
Kyle's favorite. I often don't understand what Future's saying, you're right.
The fact that I can't understand him is fine because I listen to death metal. True. So, I don't know, just he seems real dark, you know, like kind of creepy. Like, I like that Father guy too. Like, I like creepy rap.
Mm-hmm. Father is good, yeah.
Yeah, the one, like that song, everybody in the club getting shot. It's so dark. Like, that's the kind of hip hop I can understand. Like, the dark, emotional, raw stuff, like, that's really cool.
A lot of people They hear that and it's like, yeah, well, this guy, he is delivering music with a lot of soul to it. This is like the blues in hip hop form. And it sounds like so beautiful and melodic too. It's really dark subject matter, but it sounds really smooth.
Chris Stapleton has had a huge year, but who is he?
He like secretly ran Nashville for ages, but then I guess he just decided to make a record and just blow everybody out of the water with that voice. When you guys talk about real hip hop, or I talk about like true metal, that's like real country. So it has that soulful aspect to it, like almost like that blues tinged raw emotion that comes out. And yes, this is an incredible voice that like you don't come across voices like these very often. And it seems like such a good, hardworking, down to earth dude, like what you want a country star to be. Somebody who can bridge the gap between people that are looking at it critically and people that are just listening to it because it rules, and like Hank Williams probably would have been happy to share a stage with them.
And like all the songs are about whiskey, so that's...
It's extremely on brand for me.
Yeah.
Commonality, uniting everybody. Whiskey.
Yeah, you really can't go wrong with a country song about whiskey.
Thanks, Kim and Kyle, for joining me today. Make sure to check out all our end-of-year coverage on noisey.vice.com.
Check out new episodes of Daily Vice every weekday on Vice.com.